The U.S. military, the Department of Defense, always, for decades, says we plan for everything. Clearly, whatever you planned for did not get planned for at the airport. We've now seen a C-17 with more than 600 people sitting on the floor, with the pilot making the decision that he would fly them out anyhow, even though that's an extraordinary number of people. We've seen, the world has seen all the scenes at the airport. So my two questions are, what failed in your planning? Because you didn't plan for this. You would not have planned to fly in such dangerous circumstances. And how do you determine where the responsibility lies for this failure?
Well, first of all, Barbara, I would take issue with your designation of this operation at the airport as a failure. But let's get back to that in a second.
Well,
let's get back to that in a second. Yes, we do plan for all manner of contingencies. This is a planning organization. And we do that specifically to try to mitigate risk and to try to be ready for unforeseen circumstances. But it's not a perfect process. Plans are not always perfectly predictive, and as is a well-known military maxim, that plans don't often survive first contact, and you have to adjust in real time. And I think when you look at the images out of Kabul, that would have been difficult for anybody to predict. Yes, we did plan on non-combatant evacuation operations as far back as May. There were drills being done here at the Pentagon to walk through what different non-combatant evacuation operations might look like. There was another one recently done just 2 weeks ago, a tabletop exercise to again examine what a non-combatant evacuation would look like out of the Hamid Karzai International Airport. I mean, specifically at the airport. And we think that those exercises did prepare us in terms of having the resources forward, the Secretary forward deployed troops, including Marines, off of their ship and into Kuwait so that they could be more readily available, as well as other forces in the region. So a lot of what you're seeing transpire, the reason we can be so quick with upwards of 6,000 troops is because we anticipated the possible need to do this. Now, could we have predicted every single scenario and every single breach around the perimeter of the airport with only a couple of thousand troops on the ground? Absolutely. You know, there are changes that happen. So plans are terrific and we take them seriously, but they are not and never have been perfectly predictive.
When you practice this, was one of the scenarios a complete Taliban takeover of the capital?
There was certainly, as you do exercises, I don't want to go into too much detail here on these, but it would certainly be wrong to conclude that the United States military did not view as a distinct possibility that the Taliban could overrun the country and including Kabul. Now, as we've talked about here many times, it happened very fast. And one of the things that we couldn't anticipate and didn't anticipate was the degree to which Afghan forces capitulated, sometimes without a fight.
But the president said that he did not see that happening. Did you tell the president that you thought it was a possibility the country would be overrun?
We won't speak to advice and counsel that our leaders here in the Pentagon give to the president. What I can tell you is that in the planning that we've done and in the exercises and drills we ran, we certainly ran them against the possibility that the Taliban would make significant gains throughout the country. Yes, absolutely.